Excellent. The Willamina Public Library Board meeting is called to order. We're being recorded, so we'll start with attendance. Tyler Crook is here. Jennifer Eccles, not here. Capola Napoleon,
Here.
Emily Sims,
Here.
Kat Lundquist, not here. Chris Darr,
Here.
Robin Onstott, absent. Councilor Vicky Hernandez, absent. Sarah Frost,
Here.
Rich Guscott,
That's me, I'm here.
and we have two special guests this week. We have Amelie.
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 Early, it's okay.
Amelie, and Tracy's with us today. Is there any changes to the agenda? Before we get started? Nope. Okay. And we will do the thing where we just, unless anyone has an objection, we'll just accept the meeting minutes from the last meeting, May 21st, and carry on. Do we want to do the Tracy appreciation first?
Whichever you would like there, boss.
I say we do that first,
Okay.
because that's the fun thing, and then if Tracy's sick of listening to all this other stuff, he can take off.
Or they'll want to know what all we've been doing.
Yeah. Oh,
So
possibly.
you might want to stick around. So Tracy, thank you for coming, and this is overdue. I was hoping to get you here last month, but we were all so busy anyways. But I wanted to make sure that the library board and myself took time to just remind you how much you've meant to us. I know, it's like, here we go. So we have this plaque to present to you. Before we do that though, I would like to tell you in front of the board what having you at the library has done and meant for us. Dang it. So 7 years ago, you came out of nowhere. And I feel like I've grown exponentially as a leader under your guidance. And so grateful for your knowledge and your ethics and everything that you have given to us. Thank you for helping me grow professionally. And I'm just going to sum it up to this. Tracy, thank you for your extraordinary years of service and commitment to our community through your work and dedication to the library.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody else. Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, there's so much to say, Tracy. Like you really have been integral in building this library board and what it is. And I think that everything that we've done and everything that we're going to do in the future is built on the foundation that you helped us make. That's really incredible. It's so
Nice to say that you're all a very capable bunch. It wasn't much of an effort on my part.
But you did bring very special skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
That we all are grateful for and admire.
Well, thank you very much. Very touching.
Yes, I miss all your references back to either books, quotes, or movies, you know, and you always brought a chuckle. You know.
Nobody else wants to think.
I wish you the best. Truly, you and Grace. And don't be strangers.
Oh, I'm still a friend, I think, right?
That's what I
Yes,
hear.
lifetime. Yeah, lifetime friend. And we wouldn't be where we're at, LOL, without you also.
It's
So
all
thank
been-
you.
It's all been actually one of the most meaningful things I've done in my career. And I've missed you guys very much, still very much regret circumstances making you kind of an unviable member for a while here, but I'll try to hang in there, grants and whatever. So look for that.
100%.
Do that a couple more years and then retire. And feed the hogs, slaughter the cows. Yeah, but thank you all. This is wonderful. I really appreciate it.
We've appreciated you. Still do. So. You'll be lingering in the stacks for quite some time. So as long as we're all still around. Ah,
Okay.
okay, boss. It's up to you.
That was emotion.
Here he's like, "What's the happy thing?" And then your library director just starts bawling. So.
Well, then I'm gonna help. That's how emotional I am.
Okay, you want to tell us about the teen internships summer 2024?
Yes, I'm happy to introduce Amelie Fulmer, one of 4 of our summer teens. Amelie's position is paid for by the state library grant. And then our 3 other interns. Wow.
Hi.
I've never seen so many. Are you here to hang out at our board meeting?
Yeah,
Um,
awesome. We got,
let's pick up the chair. Yeah.
we got a chair here. We're gonna take the spot if you want.
So our other 3 positions are paid for by the Willamina School District and their summer learning funds that they were able to access. And they collaborated with me, and Amelie is 220 hours in her paid position, and the other 3 teens collectively make up an additional 600 hours. So writing the schedule is sure a lot of work. So the teens started last week, and I need to walk myself through this one more time to share the screen. And yes. Oh, go
Yeah.
away. How do I get this thing to go away? Oh, no, I'm pushing buttons.
After you met, but you're.
Okay, so last week the teens started, and under the library, the State Library of Oregon grant, the intern is meant to create a, what do we call it again? Connected learning project. And what that basically means is they take their interests and their passions and things that, you know, they're interested in learning about, and they find a way to connect with the community through the space that they're in. So this being the library space. So they will develop a project together, the 4 of them, a connected learning project, and create either a program or improve services in the library for the community. So I also asked them, since they all couldn't be here this evening, and Amelie's their whole representation this evening. I asked them to create a little slideshow last week, introducing them to you. So we have the interns for Willamina Library. We have Eleanor, Ryan, Amelie, and Amanda. Who went in and trademarked it?
That was Amanda and Eleanor.
They finally went in and trademarked the interns. So Eleanor is a graduate from Sheridan High School, will be attending Chemeketa in the fall, and is studying horticulture and music. Side note, and you'll catch it later, Ryan happened to graduate from Willamina High School. These kids have humor. Let's move the box. This is Amelie, a graduate of Sheridan All Prep Academy, is attending Eastern Oregon University for ecological biology. Picture with 1860s beeswax. Worth noting, Ryan will be attending Pacific University in the fall. Then you have Amanda. Amanda is a graduate from Willamina High School, attending Mount Hood Community College to obtain an associate's degree in English. Ryan hopes to study football in college. And this is Ryan. So Ryan is also a great character, and I think he kind of balances it.
Belt.
So that I gave them an hour to meet and talk about some of the projects that they have ideas about. They all came to their interviews with amazing ideas for connected learning projects. And so I wanted them to have a chance to meet each other, introduce each other to themselves, and then also talk about what some of those ideas were. And then they'll spend a couple of weeks kind of getting to know the library and our patrons and what we do well here and where there's some opportunities. And then they'll meet together again next week to talk about, okay, here's what we've seen. How do we want to tackle the connected learning project? And then they'll have several days throughout the summer and July where they'll meet as a team to plan and coordinate. I've given them a small budget of $400 to work with out of my budget to create a program or programs with. And then they will either throughout the summer launch what they decide to work on, or I've also given them a program date, the first Saturday in August, if they want to execute a larger scope program. And these were some of their ideas they talked about. Working together with community outreach, incorporating multi-generational interactive library experiences. I did not sit through any of this meeting with them. This was all them talking over the course of about an hour and a half. They talked about perler beads, music and instruments, agriculture, crafting, cooking, and much more. I know story time came up quite a bit in the conversations, and I was very excited about the conversation that they were having. So those are our team interns that we have for the summer, and we're excited to have them. And yeah, do you have anything you want to add, Emma?
I think you pretty much said it all.
I covered it. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions about the teen interns for the summer?
Sure. Are you planning on being here about 20 hours a week? Is that what it ends up being on?
Yeah, for me, it's 20 to 25 hours.
Okay.
So
And have you had any discussion yet? Are you going to think you're gonna do like that first Saturday of August, or do you wanna each take your own little? You know,
we're still kind of planning it out. I think where we're at, we're gonna do something that kind of just happens all throughout the summer, but that may change.
But this is your guys' opportunity to learn about the teams, because then the library board won't meet again until September, in which you'll obviously give an update. But then the teams are done by the end of August. So just because of the way the grants work and the funding works, they can't work past August 31st. Ryan will leave before the middle of August because he's got to check in for football. And then the girls will all work through the end of August as of right now.
So it's kind of like you have like a passion project, like something that you're passionate about that you're hoping to integrate into the library.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so what is yours again?
Mine's music.
Music.
I thought of doing something with combining music genres and making book recommendations off of that.
So then part of the internship is each one brings something of interest that they're wanting to incorporate into the library, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. And like I said, they all had amazing ideas. And it's quite possible that even if they don't execute all the ideas, they belong to me now. I've been executing those over the years. No,
Yeah, that TM is worth.
Yeah. No, they did, they should all feel very proud of the ideas that
So
they
is
had to
this
execute.
ongoing, or, I mean, or is this the first time that's, yeah, you've been able to have this in the library?
So the first intern was 2 summers ago, what year was that? What year were we in? Thank you. It's like, oh my goodness. So in 2022, we were able to hire our first intern through the State Library of Oregon. And by chance, I found additional funding through Willamette Workforce Partnerships to bring on a second paid position. So we had 2 teams that first summer. It was also unfortunately the summer I went to City Hall as the interim city manager. So I didn't get to work with that intern as tightly as I would have liked to. So it looked a little bit different. And it was the first year that the state library offered the internship. So all the libraries who got that first year, plus the state library, were kind of all learning what it was going to look like. And that team did a couple of things. They worked on creative writing projects with Richie. And then they also identified that we had a need in our computer area for updated technology, which ultimately led to the work. So based on some preliminary research and investigating that they did, led to me working with grant writing students from Tracy on a technology grant, which led us to the Oregon Community Foundation grant, which has paid for the Chromebooks we have over there now, an update to our tech infrastructure, and then some other goodies as well. So that was the first team. So that their work carried on in a way. Last year, we were fortunate that I didn't get any grant funding, but the city approved us to hire team assistants, and we hired 3 part-time team assistants, but there was no internship tied to it, and we were just basically winging it because summers are busy here. And then this year, we're just doing it a little bit differently again. So we got the internship, and it's a little more structured now, and we were able to get the additional interns from the school, and now we're making it a group project. So it's not one person having to do an internship, it's a collective group effort.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, so every year's been a little different, but this is our 3rd summer of having teams on
Cool.
staff.
Yeah, that's super.
I know, my kids are like counting down the years till they can apply.
It's really neat because the students we have this year as our interns have all grown up in the library, and I've known them for almost as long as I've been the library director here. So, yeah.
That's even better.
Congratulations, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited for you guys. to be-
Yeah.
Welcome.
All right. Reports. You want to give us some monthly reports, Eric?
Yeah, so we're busy. That's good. We definitely hit the ground running once school let out at the beginning of June. The month before, so in May, we were very busy. We did so much. So we had the Museum of Natural and Cultural History Native Innovation exhibit here in the library, and that exhibit had a total of 347 engagements. People looking at it, people interacting with it, touching it, reading it, exploring it. It was probably the most interacted with program we've ever had here at the library. It was really amazing. David Lewis kicked that event off with his author visit with Tribal Histories of the Willamette Valley. Of course, we had our first free comic book day in May as well. I know it seems like that was ages ago, but it was and we had 112 people visit the library that day, plus the comic workshops. It's funny because since then we've had kids who have come in. I was here for free comic book day, and then also kids are like, I missed free comic book day. It's like, no, we're gonna do it again. So many field trips. That's all I could say about that one. We had kinders, third, fourth, and fifth graders this year, which is an uptick from the typical kinders and fourth graders. So that was 187 kids, who learned about the library, got to see the museum exhibit, learn about the summer reading program. And Mr. Overholser, Mr. O, as the kids call him, he sent me some of those, statements that are there in the monthly report that his kiddos, gave to him. And yeah, we're just, it's amazing. Our numbers are just pleasing and exciting, and we're already well into summer. We hit 50, we have 50 kids who have signed up for summer reading program now. And we had our first program last Friday, which was the Summer Splash series with Richie and Amelie. And today we had the first of 3 Chinook language immersion programs. That's the free book that's available to hand out. And then they also sent us like this little vocabulary A through Z sheet. And then next month, they're actually launching a brand new book, and they've made us little vocabulary cards, so all the families can keep collecting all the vocabulary for the Chinook language, and they also get the free book as well. So that's what we have going on.
That is super cool.
Let's see, what else can I update you on? Teens, so we're working with the teens for the summer. I have no updates on the building compliance, as I was not thinking I wouldn't have any updates on that probably until the fall. I don't think, unless you guys have questions for me, I don't think I have anything else.
No questions.
Oh, we have
Oh, Robin!
Robin and Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer! Yay.
Excellent, okay. Library board member reports. Tyler Crook, me, nothing. Capola, LOL.
Hey, I wrote down some notes this time. And I unfortunately was sick for the last LOL board meeting, so if either of you have anything to add in addition to what I share, please feel free. But, Sarah has the lovely flyer to Dolly Parton Hoot Night, a reminder to you this Saturday. I think it kicks off at 7 with the actual concert streaming, starting at 8 p.m.
At the Wildwood.
Wildwood Hotel.
Or
and
important.
yes, you can go to the Alberta Rose as well. Stop by because Marion also has raffle prize drawings on the half hour, I've heard. So that will be a nice fundraiser for us to enjoy some good food and company. And some good music. So don't forget, Saturday, the 22nd. This Saturday. Bottle drop update for you. We currently have $125.81 in our bottle drop account. So we've had a few bags returned after Earth Week Give, which was really great. During Earth Week Gives, since it was so last minute, we only raised $82.03, but with the 20% matching, they had deposited an additional $17.82. So that worked out. And next year, if we can kind of, get together and get it all in right at the beginning of Earth Week, we could do some damage to their program and get all the money. But yeah, so Earth Week Give, we got a total of $99.85, so not too shabby. And then our next LOL board meeting is actually moved to July 9th. We will not be meeting the week of 4th of July. And our next fundraising meeting will be July 14th at 2 p.m. here at the library. And then another reminder for those who maybe weren't here last time, we are accepting CARS donations for Love Our Library. And if you go to cars.com and you search for Love Our Library, donate a card to us, and the after sales profits come to us. Anything went down at the meeting that I should share? I read the minutes and I kind of felt there's no other news.
I don't need the minutes in front of me, I'm not remembering. Oh, to be honest.
We talked mostly about this.
Yeah, so mostly about that.
And then. And it wasn't the same without you there.
Yeah.
Kiko, so-
I'm basically just moping the whole time.
Well, I could have come and not said anything and got you all sick, man. So, I had laryngitis unfortunately. For a week. Yeah, no, exactly.
Well, thank you very much, Kipola.
Yes.
Robin, do you have anything to share?
Well, obviously it's summer vacation for most of the school, but we did start summer school yesterday. I think there's like 25 students on the elementary side and 5 in the middle school. So I actually am opening the library during those times so they can come and check out books, and the teachers are checking out books to read to the kids. So, and then I'm weeding and all that other fun stuff. So I'm going to reorganize a lot of stuff in between checkouts. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there any other reports to give? I don't. think so. All right. So then we can pick up with our continued business, yes?
I should share actually for Counselor Hernandez. I apologize. I probably should have said this in my report. Our budget has been approved and officially signed off on by city council. So that's great news. So they did approve the staffing plan I had requested. That gets us, it's really inflated, but that's because it will get us between now and to next summer, and bringing on somebody to train to replace Carla and give us a good chunk of time with that person, to be able to work additional hours. It brought Richie over to the library 24 hours a week, and then we'll get through summer. And probably sometime around October, start talking about what bringing on another staff person looks like, so that by the end of the calendar year, we can bring somebody in to work with Carla by January, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I am so grateful to have a city council that seems to value their library.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, it's worth evaluating.
Yeah. All right, photography and video recording policy review edits.
There's so many things, so. The documents I sent out had the attorney's notes on them. And I guess more than anything, and so I'll work on these again over the summer, but since she had a lot of feedback, I didn't want to just take it to the city council without you guys having a chance to see what that feedback was. Obviously, she's looking at it through the lens of an attorney. So some of it's probably worth taking a look at, but not necessarily all of it, because they're also looking at attorney lingo. And one of the things we've talked about and that I brought back from OLA is trying to make policies that are clear to patrons so they understand what they're reading too. They are not attorneys. They need information given to them in a way that they can understand it. So it's definitely a balance, but really I need to know for what I'm going to work on is if you have questions, feedback, concerns, or things that you do or that you are or are not passionate about from the attorney's feedback. And then I can rework the policies and bring them back to you guys in September. We're not hurting for these policies, luckily, you know, worst case scenario, if somebody ever did anything, then I'd be like, my library board approved this in April or March or whatever. So, you know, we got a little something to work with. So yeah, so I guess I just need to know what you guys want from me. Direct me to do the work.
Well, I, to be honest, have not had time to review this very much. Is it anybody else?
I'm glad we don't have, that we're not allowed to take pictures of classrooms.
Yes.
I read through some of the notes that you had sent with the attorney that said, but. Yeah, I didn't see anything that was like over, well, in the notes you sent us, nothing seemed too like complicated. I forgot to bring that note with me. I had a sticky note. So then, if we just take the attorney's notes and add it to this, is this the only thing that would be changed, like for the photography?
Let me pull up the photography one. And we can do a couple of things. I mean, if the library board would like to work session this, we can totally dedicate more time to it at a future meeting, so that we can go through the notes as a team. So yeah, so for the photography and video recording policy, she striked out that line. Ensure, adding that there would be no disruptions to library services. Library leadership should say library director. The only one that was a little bit challenging on this policy is at the end, she highlighted the word respected. Are we on the same one here? Photography and video recording
Yeah.
policy, right?
Yeah.
And she had quite a bit of questions and feedback for us to think about on that paragraph. I mean, it is what it is, and we can't. I know on one of the things she had said, and make sure that everybody signs for these policies. Well, that's unreasonable.
Oh, yeah.
Because not everybody gets library cards. So really it's everybody comes into the library and you expect them to follow the rules and you have them available. We post ours for the most part when they're easy to post, like we don't have the collection development policy posted, we have it available to hand out though. So it's just kind of some of those things and taking into consideration what's reasonable and then what she's giving us to protect us at the same time. So as she's also, I don't know how much experience she has working with libraries and library policies too, because that was the concern too about the security camera policy, was she wanted to make sure we didn't keep police from doing investigations and asking questions. However, as the library director, I also have to put my foot down and I have my patron confidentiality that I have to protect as well, and making sure I hold them accountable to go through the correct procedures and when they have to get warrants and when they have to go through my supervisor, not just come over and say, let me look at the security footage. So there's give and take because she wanted to make sure that we would give them what they wanted, and my thing is, well, sure, as long as they do what they have to get what they want, and that they're not just accessing whatever they want. So, it's for us to take what she recommended and as the library experts, take that and put it into reasonable policy, and then whatever the board recommends to the city council, I'm sure that's what they'll approve, no matter what, So do we want more time to just work on this and bring it back in the fall? And
Would a work session be helpful for you?
a work session might be, I mean, because then we can go through this piece by piece. I mean, I don't think our library boards ever, I don't think we
I don't
ever
think we've
work
ever done
sessioned
that.
something.
No.
In my 8 years, we've never work sessioned anything. That'll be a whole brand new meeting for us. But these are reasonable things to work session and their policy, and they impact our patrons and they help us protect ourselves too. So should we add an extra meeting to the fall calendar to discuss these things?
Yeah, does that sound
I think
like,
that's very good.
do we want to do that as like the whole board, or do we want to have a work group?
For policy, well, you could do it a couple ways, but for this, you could work session this before the board meeting and then roll right into the board meeting and then approve the policies in the board meeting. So if you wanted to do it the same day as the library board meeting, we could just, I have a feeling that it'll be done quickly on the
Yeah,
policies. I don't know if we need to like meet and then look at it again and then meet again and then look at it again.
Yeah.
If I had to make a recommendation, we could take the September meeting, which is our kickoff meeting, and it'll also be the first meeting for new board members potentially. So maybe not September, maybe in October. Start the meeting a little bit earlier.
Just
and-
start a little early.
What do you-
Yeah.
But it's your guys' decision. I'm just making recommendations out there for you all.
Me too.
Yeah, no, that sounds nice.
This, just in the last couple of years at the community center. It would be more helpful if all the board members attended the work meeting. Because then you're not repeating everything and re-questioning and going back and re-editing. And there's not that many board members. So, you know, if it was a huge board, it would be different, but it's smaller board, I think. It'd be better if they.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Right, so should we set that for like 5 o'clock?
In
Before
October?
our October meeting?
We need to motion this.
No, for a work session, I'll just, you guys tell me you want a work session and then and tell me when you want it and I plan it. So.
All right. We did it then. Is there anything about the security camera policy? That's because we kind of just talked about the photography and video recording policy. Is there anything?
The only thing that was the outlier on that one, like I said, was where she referenced the sheriff's office, was the only thing that caught my attention, as the library director, yeah, make sure not to impact or hinder a criminal investigation was her notes here, which we wouldn't, like I said, it's just, everybody has to go through the correct processes to ensure patron confidentiality is, and that's once we finish this policy, I will have an extra step once city council approves it, because then that means I need to have a meeting with people over there who have access to the cameras and make sure that they're following our policy. So that's gonna require a little bit of extra work, on our end, so.
Excellent. Then we can move on to new business, I think. Board term vacancies. We got Jennifer. This was her last term and is that the only vacancy we have?
Jennifer and Kat were in
Oh, and
partial
Kat.
terms,
That's right.
ending this year, so new terms for those were partial terms. So, these would be for full-term positions, for 4-year positions starting September 2024.
Do we have anybody in mind for those positions at this time?
These positions will probably require full recruitments. Which we haven't had to do. In a long time,
What is full recruitment?
like, I posted,
Do we
got
have
some
to put it in the
applications come
newspaper and
in.
stuff?
Gotta do all the things.
Who do you know? Who do you
I
know?
Cool people only.
What's your husband up to?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, is there anything to talk about with that as far
I
as?
just need a motion from the board to move forward to advertise over the summer for those 2 full-term board positions first.
Okay, do we have a motion and a second for that?
I'll motion to advertise for 2 full term board positions that begin in September 2024.
And a second.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
I think it's unanimous. Okay.
Um,
We did it.
And the second part to that is something that this board's never had the opportunity to do before, but I wanted to give it as an option. Because we are finally, we're moving as a full efficient board. So in the years past, when we filled board positions, I collect all the applications that come in. And then I give them all to the mayor at a city council meeting, and the mayor's like, who should I pick? And I'm like, well, here's the pros and cons, for each individual, and then the mayor appoints somebody. when I went to OLA and learned how other boards kind of manage their board recruitments and selections. And as I just recently learned that the planning commission did, they will interview, the board will interview their applicants and then make a recommendation to city council on who they would like to see fill those board positions. So I wanted to give the library board that option. It would just mean that a couple of you select a couple of you to work with me to go through that process over the summer, and then make a recommendation on behalf of the library board to city council. So I just need to know how you would like to go through the selection process for your 2 full-term positions.
At the end of the interviews, do you present then just 2 names?
I would present only the names. Mhm,
So they wouldn't even necessarily know who the other applicants.
mhm.
Yeah, I'm down, I like that idea.
Me too.
Okay, well, you as a team need to decide who you would like to be on that process representing the library board to fill those positions, because that would go to city council the 2nd week in September. And then those board members' first meeting would be the 3rd Tuesday in September with us here. Unless you wanted to push it out and then bring it back to the board in September for filling the terms in October. However, the group decides to kind of hash out the process. I would recommend it for future consistency, that we do it the same way. And if the board term starts in September, it would be nice for them to be able to hit that September meeting, which just then, like I said, means you guys choosing a couple of people to represent the library board and do those interviews and select or recommend.
You're gonna do 2 board members and you? That sounds good. Is there anybody who's excited about doing that?
I'll do it.
Got one,
I can join in.
and then I can be subbed in for anybody who needs it.
Tyler equals sub.
I'll be on the edge of the ropes. You just tag in and then I'll like jump in. Wrestle a new board member into the.
I wanna ask you a couple questions.
Great, okay, I'll shoot you guys an email, and get together and see how you guys want to streamline that process, and then I will get the recruitment up, quite honestly, as early as next week.
Great.
So that we can get some interested people with all these new people we have coming to the library.
And then do we have to select a new board chair or?
And
co-chair
co-chair,
roles?
yeah, here we are again, it's the end of the board here.
So who's gonna fight me?
They have this gavel, they have a.
Yeah.
I'm the only weapon.
Yeah, I noticed none of you brought, you brought your bare hands for gavel time.
And the notes I put, who will face him in single combat. So,
Hey guys, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but in Minnesota and LA, and I have to leave because I have to go board my other flight. So sorry I missed tonight, but I tried.
Okay, Jennifer, safe travels.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
So, does anybody want to be the chair? I don't know how to select it if we want to.
Someone just has to nominate someone, and then everybody's gotta be like, yep, that's the one.
Okay, who wants to nominate someone to be the board chair?
I nominate Tyler Crook to remain our board chair.
Yeah,
Okay, then do we have a second?
I second that
Okay,
nomination.
do we have votes for that? Who votes yes for that?
Aye.
Hi.
Yeah, aye.
You can't vote.
You're-
You can vote. You're an honorary voter tonight. You have a name
He
plate.
always has a vote at our table.
Okay, now who wants to take over co-chair?
So
That just
co-chair-
backs you up if you're not
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Backs me up if I'm gone, and, you get to touch the gavel.
that's the winning sales point, right?
Yeah, I never put the blood.
Jennifer was the co-chair for this year, but she won't be reapplying for her board position, so. Which means it's gotta be a voting board member. So it's gotta be Robin, Emily, Chris, or Capola right now, because the two newbies might not wanna jump right in, unless we're like, assignment number 2, whoever number 2 is.
Would there be, I'm trying to think of our LOL board. Operating agreement, if I were to. Be a co-chair, is that a conflict of interest being the president of LOL?
No, and
We
guess what?
decided, yeah, you weren't there for that.
No.
We have new info.
Oh, wonderful.
So based on the OLA sessions I went to for the library board and the Friends of the Library, there are no conflicts of interest between serving on both. And in fact, in some instances, they highly encourage it because it keeps both parties in line with what the overall goals
Right.
are of the library. So, yes,
Okay.
so yay.
Yeah, you're nominated for
LOL
co-chair?
board president.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I nominate Capola to be the co-chair.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. I keep looking over here like I need you to.
Yeah, no, I'm just not. My God.
Okay, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
There we go. Future business.
Next year.
Computer use, internet use, Wi-Fi use policy. Geez Louise.
Oh, wow.
I know, I'm sorry.
Is there anything to share about that, or is that just to acknowledge that we're?
We'll be working on it, and it'll come earlier. In fact, I would like to recommend that that's the next policy after the 2 work session, because now I've got the 10 Chromebooks for in library use. And I would like to have something in writing before we start utilizing them for programs.
Excellent, and then the code of conduct policy would come after that.
Yeah, that one and the collection development policy are really heavy policies to work
The
through.
collection development policy is the one that Jennifer and I have been working on. And I would sure like to have at least a draft of that ready by the time we get back together in September. So I'd probably work with Jennifer a little bit to get that done, and then, like I said, it would just be a draft, and then I'd run it by you, and then I think we'd bring it to the board.
That sounds
So
good.
that sounds good to everybody.
And she's still board member through July technically. I mean, August, if we're holding her to it, so. So that doesn't start till September, so.
Okay, so that's where that stuff's at. Is there any public input? We actually have public here today for the first time.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. Welcome.
No, I'm just trying to get a feel of all this whole
Mhm.
structure. So,
Good.
All right. Then we can go over the calendar.
It really isn't much different since I showed it before the summer. We've got lots of summer programmings up and coming now. Richie has free RPG Day coming up this Saturday, and on all of your tables is the Dolly Parton RPG he wrote, since it's the same day as Dolly Parton Hoot Night. So Dolly Parton is featured in a role-playing game at the Willamette Public Library, written by Wizard Richie. So
Thank you.
that's exciting news, and
yeah, we saw that at LOL. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That was-
Yes, I'm
yeah.
super excited. It
Yeah,
kind of
that
wrote
was
itself.
fun. That was fun.
In fact, there was too much and I ended up having to like cut out a lot, cause else it would have been, I don't know. Dolly Parton jokes kind of write themselves, cause she's written a lot of good songs about pretty much everything.
Yes, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting. That's the next big program. And then next week is a little bit of a softer week. We only have Splash series next week, which rolls us into July. The first Tuesday in July is our next Chinook program, and then we will be closed the 4th through the 6th for the holiday and give all of our humans at the library a break. We'll be ready for it by then. And then July is our heavy month for programs, so we've got programs every Tuesday, every Friday, plus the aquarium is coming out on a Wednesday. And I'm also doing rural women public service leaders panel and discussion the last Wednesday.
Sounds awesome.
And then that takes us into August, which is National Night Out. And wrapping up some more of our Friday programs and Tuesday programs. And by about August, definitely by August 24th, if not a week sooner than that, we should be done with all of our summer programming, because then the kids are all starting to get back into school routines and registration for school, and hopefully by then they'll be sick of us.
I'm like, no, make summer longer so we keep going.
Well, there's some great prizes for summer reading program this year. so, Yeah.
Like what?
Aquarium tickets, the kids are pretty excited. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I got Enchanted Forest tickets now too.
Oh.
To raffle at the end of summer, so.
This is like for however many books they read, or, I mean,
Yeah, so we're asking that they read 10 days in a row. And then they have little punch cards. And then after they've read for 10 days, they can turn it in for a weekly raffle, which is Legos and aquarium tickets and some other small prizes. And then so they can turn in multiple of their cards, their punch cards. And then at the end, on National Night Out, we'll do big prize drawings, which we have a tablet with some education material that comes with it. We also have stargazing binoculars, moon gazing binoculars. And then we also have the Enchanted Forest tickets that will wrap up as well. So
that's cool.
we've got really good prizes. So, we were lucky that Aquarium and Enchanted Forest donated their prizes to us. So that's a bonus.
Where'd you get the moon binoculars?
What's that?
Where did you get the binoculars?
I purchased them, and they're the same ones that we have here available for checkout through our telescope lending program from the Astronomy Club. So we bought an extra set of these to raffle off for the kiddos, and they were really excited because they can use them for bird watching too. So lots of kiddos were excited during the field trip about the binoculars. So rock on. So, if they're excited, I'm excited.
And will you guys get, the state fair passes again too? Not this year? Yeah, no.
Did you see those emails?
Oh my God, like just, it's kind of a mess this year.
The state fair, they changed their delivery system for tickets, so they're not physical tickets anymore, they're QR codes. So in order for us to have had them, they would have sent us 150 QR codes to print off, and I just,
Yeah, right.
just,
Yeah.
so we were like, we're just gonna pass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's the thing, a lot of libraries are doing it.
Yeah,
So,
that's which is okay, so it's, we've got other aquarium tickets and
Oh, yeah, those are-
enchanted forest tickets. so.
yeah,
I think those are better.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
150 QR codes. You would have loved that print job, huh?
just scrape them all.
Why would you need, I mean, if there's just passes, I mean, it wouldn't be 150 passes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they are. They're all individual, and each QR code is individual to the ticket. So, yeah, we had asked if they could do like one QR code for the cooperative. So we have an amazing librarian, who helps to coordinate, a lot of these things, this one specifically. And, she worked with the state, Oregon State Fair to try and come up with a better solution for our libraries. And they just weren't able to work anything out. So it would have been like for all of our member libraries, 18 of us, we could all have up to 200 tickets. They would have sent 200 tickets per library, and then she would have had to disperse those PDF files for us to print out. Or they could have sent them to us individually, and it was a lot more work on our end, and time and capacity.
Yeah, those little cards were just perfect,
Mhm.
you know, you go and scan them, I mean.
Everything's just going to, your phone, like
Yeah.
here, scan the QR code. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of it had to do with technology, improvements and efficiencies on their end. It probably made their lives easier.
But for the public, that's really discriminatory. I mean,
Not everybody has a smartphone.
I mean,
Creates barriers.
it's- yeah,
About reducing and
elder
improving.
and young.
Mhm.
Yeah. Elder.
Well, all right, I think we did it. I think that brings us to the end of our library board meeting. We'll see you in September, everybody.
Yeah. 6:59, look at that.